What's good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of TheStankCast. I'm your host, HamStank. He's your co-host, Craig Moo Cowie. Craig, say hello to the people.
What's happening, people?
What is happening, everybody? What's happening? It's I'm tired, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you this week. I'm tired. It's been we've been busy last week, and this morning I was over at a new job. I started a new job, and I was over at a place in Letham, wee cafe place that I've started. I'm still at the Portage just now, but I'm doing 2 days a week over at the at Letham Crafts just to get used to the place, because their chef is leaving as well.
So what we're talking, what kind of food is it?
It's cafe style food. It's like soups and sandwiches and stuff like that, but it's mostly like bakery stuff. So I'm making cakes and that type of thing. So I'll be learning a little bit more about that. But they're opening up a restaurant through the back as well. They've got like design plans for the next year, where they're hoping to open a restaurant.
What, with like fancier food?
Whatever, they're open to discussing. That's what we discussed in the interview. It's like they said, what kind of ideas, what would you have for that? And I gave them a brief from what minimal knowledge I had of just being in that interview. Yeah, I gave them a quick rundown of what I would probably do. Yeah, and which is leave it as a cafe, because the cafe's self-sustaining business. The locals carry that through and through. Yeah. And then you have your restaurant.
Oh, is it busy? Like the locals
the cap, like they're only serving food till like 2:30. Okay. But they start serving food at like 10. Okay. And then it's just all the way through. It's just constant. There's just people coming, elderly people, cyclists, tourists, a lot. It is busy. Like the food's decent as well. Like, I can't lie. One chef, I think maybe 2 chefs max, but the one guy that was in Hugo, who I met today, lovely guy, really good food. You could just tell he's been working on his own for a bit. So it's like, see, when you're working on your own as a chef, there's a lot to do. Just so much to do, and like you can't blame people for if stuff falls through the cracks. So it's just part and parcel of what it is. But a really nice guy, cooks really good food. The food was like teriyaki burger, like teriyaki chicken was.
What's in teriyaki?
Teriyaki spice.
Like, I don't know. I think I've ever heard it. I think I've only ever heard it from Subway. I'm trying to think what kind of thing it actually is. Like a soy saucy kind of thing.
Yeah, it's like soy sauce and spices. Right. Okay. That's about it.
Fair.
But it's like a sweet and sour, like soy sauce type of vibe. But they also do like, so a lot of the stuff was vegan and gluten free stuff, which was quite interesting. Yeah, like they're quite into using, because they must get a lot of dietary requirements for being old people. So we just I've seen quite a few of the nice vegetarian stuff they do as well. But there's a new head chef coming in at the end of the month, so the menu's all to change anyway. Right, okay. So whatever food he's doing there now is fine. A lot of the stuff like the cakes and that will stay there, because it is a cafe.
That's what like the elderly people that go and visit it from the town. Yeah, they'll go for like tea and a couple of cakes and stuff, and like that. They come for soup and sandwiches, and bacon rolls and stuff. That's what they come for in the morning. And then, if like they say, they're wanting to expand the business, so opening the restaurant through the end, which is more my style of food. You know what I mean? There's I'm more restaurant evening meal types, eats, which is, I hate to say it, working evenings, but it's just what I've more been trained in. I mean, if you could at least get some weekends off, though, that wouldn't be too bad.
No, it's alternative, so there'll be 3 chefs. So
yeah, that can be
a much better balance that way. Just this next month, I've got a lot of working to do this month. Like Monday was my only day off this month. Monday just passed there. Yeah. And then damn, we spent fucking all day playing D&D for 10 hours. So
it's fucking awesome.
Yeah, it was great. Don't regret a thing. Nah. But so the rest of this month it's just going to be floating in between the two, finishing up at the Portage, handing over to their new chef, and starting at the Letham Crafts.
So when do you finish at the Portage?
The 26th of this month.
So when's your first day off? Like after this? Like when's your first whole day?
When I go to the wedding.
Oh yeah, 'cause you go away.
Yeah.
Okay.
It'll be when I go to, so I come off on the 26th. There's a long pause there.
Yeah.
I was trying to just figure out my dates. There's a long pause, but yeah, I'll come off the 26th, and then my next day off will be the 5th.
Okay.
Or 4th.
Fair.
Maybe.
Rough.
Got to be done, innit?
Yeah, that's rough.
Well, it doesn't have to be done.
No, it doesn't have to be done.
They actually, the new place asked me if I would come in on my Monday, Tuesdays, and I said yeah, because why would I not? But it's that's why I'm tired. So vibe might not be bouncing off the roof today. That's what I'm trying to say to you, Chef. But I'm tired either way, and I saw some things actually during the course of the week that pissed me off. Right?
Okay, go. Because
I'm tired. That's probably the way my brain's went today. Right?
I feel you.
Joey Barton. Right?
Okay. The footballer.
Yeah, bro.
How old's he now? I'm trying to think if I can picture his face.
Late 40s, mid 40s maybe.
Okay.
Joey Barton used to play for teams like Newcastle, QPR, shitey teams like that.
He was a very mid footballer.
Yeah, very mid football player, but still a professional football player. He played for Newcastle and stuff as well.
Okay.
So he, don't get me wrong, he was decent and all. And you have to be a professional footballer. So no matter what, right? Of course. I'm sitting here saying he's a mid football player. He's told 10 times better than me.
A mid professional football player.
Yeah, that's what he is. He's a mid professional football player, right? And you know what? Actually, he's just a prick. He's just a prick, mate.
What has he tweeted?
Oh, bro,
he's definitely tweeted something that's annoyed you.
He's just a prick, man. See, I didn't like him for. Now let's not get things twisted, right? I have never been one that is like. You'll never see me ranting and raving about the female football and stuff like that, right? I don't sit and watch it because, one, I barely sit and watch the men's football.
Yeah.
And the games that I do, I sit and watch on my phone while I'm doing other stuff.
Yeah.
So, I barely find time to watch any football as it is. However, I don't go out of my way to belittle and just humiliate the people that are playing the female game and stuff, right? And this Joey Barton online, he's just a prick, man. Just everything he posts about female football is like derogatory. He's bringing them down. Like he's going on about like the standards of the football that they play in that, right? Female football's been around professionally for about 15 years, something like that. You go back to when like the men were playing professional football for the first 15 years. Fucking shit like that would have been happening all the time, man. It's like a baby in the form of a sport, in the form of like professionals. There's only going to be better and better women coming along the older the sport gets. The more funding goes into, the more training. But this guy's on it, like humiliating people for like goalkeeper mistakes or passing errors or anything like that. Where him himself has like highlight videos on YouTube of him just making mistakes. So it winds me up. The cunt just sits there and he's just on it all the time, and it's relentless. It's not like one or two tweets. It's relentless, bro. Have you checked this Twitter out?
Nah, I haven't.
Go have a look. Honestly, go have a look. Because it's like rotten, bro.
I'm not agreeing with him at all.
And
you know what I mean? Like I have seen some videos of some real funny like
don't get me
stuff
wrong.
That's like really bad football.
Me too. But I also see it in the men's game.
Yeah, like I say, I understand that it's something that's probably highlighted to anger people to make them more against it.
And I'm not
what was I doing as well? Joey Barton's
Twitter. I think it's the one with like a crown on it because his ego's that big.
Yeah, he's got a crown on either side.
Yeah.
Okay, let's have a wee
King
look.
Joey Barton. What a fucking muppet.
King Joey Barton. To be fair,
I think he played for Rangers as well.
He looks like a bit of a muppet, to be fair.
And the last tweet that actually made me think of him today was the one about Gary Neville. Be the one on the top of his Twitter because.
Yeah, so I'm trying. There's a couple of them that are like pinned, so they're from like years ago. This is.
And there's, he's got remember that you don't know her, but there's a female commentator on Sky who's fled the country from. So is that what you're about to tell me?
Well, I don't know. Well, no, but this I think was it about two female. Is that a female pundit?
Yeah.
Well, there's just got about ITV football.
Posted
a message saying in quotation marks. For Joey Barton, an ex-professional player with a significant social media presence, to target two of our pundits, Eni Aluko and Lucy Ward, with such vindictive remarks based on gender and to invoke the names of serial killers in doing so is clearly contemptible and shameful on his part. Football is for everyone. And he's quote-tweeted it saying, is this the same ITV football that tried to cover up Philip Schofield grooming and then bumming an underaged boy, asking for a friend? He's a prick, on man. One, yeah, fair. He's going on. Fuck, it sounds like there's mad drama. Like you've educated me towards a mad drama that's going on.
He's just an idiot, man. Like he's like a one-man army against female football because he is so old-fashioned and deranged that he believes women should still be working in the kitchen, shouldn't have jobs, shouldn't be allowed to vote. That's the type of fucking idiot he is, man.
Because I
just can't stand for it.
It's not even the only time he's quoted it.
He does it all the time.
To the same picture, like just basically going off saying, shut up, you fucking idiots, keep them off the telly, they're ruining the game for every one of us. It's what happens when you force underqualified, underprepared, tokenistic people onto us. I will be calling them all serial killers from now on. Jeez, calling them all woke.
He's an idiot.
Damn, he's really. What happened? What did they do? Like, bro, what did the pundits do that's annoyed him?
All he's known. What?
What is it that set this off? What
it'll
did he
be
do?
like they'll have made comments that he'll not have agreed with on TV. So the females are now covering male sports more and more, right? You see it all over the place. It's all over all other sports, like the NBA, MMA. They've all got female commentators coming in. It's not a big deal.
No.
So these women are analysing the game, and they're giving their opinions on what they think could have happened better or players could have done better. And he's obviously disagreed with them, or saying the point's invalid, or saying that it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, it sounds like at some point.
So he's not happy with their punditry.
Well, it sounds like at some point he's compared them to serial killers.
Yeah, he has. Yeah,
somehow.
It been in a previous tweet saying they're butchering it or something, butchering the game. But what he's saying is that we're getting forced to watch these females because they're just pushing them onto the screen, and we just have to watch them because they're watching the men's game.
Okay. And
in the hopes that we'll watch the female game, pretty much, right? But I don't understand how one person's comments, right, or analysis of something can affect you so much like that it ruins the game. There was a game he was watching. It was a Man City game, and he said he switched it off after 10 minutes or 15 minutes or something because there was a female commentator, and she wasn't even the commentator, like that. She was the co-commentator.
Yeah,
right.
That's just dramatic.
Yeah,
like,
absolutely, it's just dramatic, man. It's just wild, and he only does it for to get the clicks and the views and to enrage people and get people talking about it, which I'm doing right now, which is annoying me. The fact that I've even said it, but he's just a prick, bro. I just don't like him.
Yeah, highlighted to me another person.
Oh my god, that was my bad. All he's known for as a football player was being a dirty bastard. That's all he was known for, man.
Well, like dirty tackles, or
hammering people. Originally when he was young, he was a good, enthusiastic football player, charged around the field, closed people down. But when he got older, he was just hitting people, bro.
Yeah,
couldn't keep up with the game. I think he spent some time in Rangers as well. Did shite, but he set me off. His tweet about Gary Neville set me off on that, actually.
To be fair, you can judge what he's like based on the fact that his top few tweets were something about transgenders, something about hiring people based on skin colour. Then the next one was something about female football, something else
Brexit.
about bro. It's
screaming Brexit, doesn't he?
Yeah, he is.
Honestly, the living embodiment of Brexit in itself.
EDL, man. Or whatever it is, that's him.
Yeah, absolutely.
Skinheading himself soon and on.
He's just an idiot, man.
Yeah, mad. That's mad.
But yeah. You give me something. What have you? Get me in a better mood, because that's fucking hell, man.
I'll be in a better mood if you wouldn't kick fuck at my table.
I'm sorry. I apologise.
Okay, so I'm gonna bring it in a UFC related.
Oh, I watched it
based on a couple of things. So we obviously had the card at the weekend, which we'll not really go too far into. It was really good.
You know what?
It was really good.
That's what I'm just gonna say underrated. I even underrated the card, but
I think I just didn't pay attention to who was going to be on it. Is all it was.
Fair. But that fucking backflip, by the way, that was sick.
That was sick,
bro, by Pereira.
Well, yeah, it was very close to being a legal knee, but it therefore wasn't. It therefore wasn't.
The commentators
he shinned him in the chest.
Anyway, go with your point. Right? We'll not talk.
Well, no, I was just saying I didn't want to get too deep into it. There are some things that would be good to talk about.
That slamming though, that'd be
one of them. That was cool. On to defend the commentators, I don't know what he really expects he's gonna do when he does that backflip, because obviously he can't kick them in the face. You can't really knee them in the face or anything like that when you do that. So I don't really know entirely what his goal is when he thinks about that, other than just to get past their legs.
Entertainment.
Which what he normally is, jumping off the cage, backflips and stuff like that.
I think if you penalise him doing that, because that's a highlight, minute and a half.
Yeah,
but different.
Do that. If he had actually shinned him in the face, then fair, because it's an illegal, regardless of highlight, it's an illegal strike.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Fair.
Like if I jump in the air and stamp on someone's head, that's a highlight, but it's still pretty illegal. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, fair.
But either way, that was cool, and then straight onto the guillotine, choked him right out.
Yeah, standing as well. Yeah. Then, the boy tapped, and before, who was the ref? Was it Mark Goddard?
I don't know.
Whoever it was came over and stopped him. As he stopped him, he just went back.
See, when you're in them positions, when you're getting choked in that, a lot of times you can feel it going. You feel it like it's all cutting off, and then you tap, and you feel like you've tapped just enough, but it's something about them letting off and the rush that comes back in makes you like, yeah, like can be the bit that like sets you. Yeah, for some, like sometimes like I've had it from being triangled before. Like you're getting triangled, it's on tight, like okay, there's no breath going in here. Things are going to start getting lightheaded, so I'll tap, and you tap, and they let off, and you feel fine, but as they let go, that's when you get the stars, and you go, oh, and that's the bit that like catches you and makes you go like, oh my god, do you know what I mean? And I think that's what happened to him. He was thinking him, and he like tapped, he let go, and then he like fucking crumbled on his
head. Just flew back out of the choke. His head just flew back,
which is mental. Like how far into it? Like 44, 50 something seconds.
Yeah, it was probably less than a minute. I think it was something like that.
And then. It was as well Anthony Smith somehow guillotining that guy.
Mate,
he looked like he was even surprised by that. Like he looked like he done it. And he's like, okay, yeah, cool.
That must have been like a thank Christ moment because this was going to be a long night for me otherwise. You know what I mean?
Well, did you see Dustin Poirier tweeted about it?
No.
About Anthony Smith and about that. He was like, looks like what was it? He was like, a lot of people jumping the gillies tonight or something like that, and then posted pictures of like people jumping guillotines.
Because he's known for it.
And then he said, I need to find it. He said, if I manage to jump guillotine on, who's it he's fighting again? What's his name? Why have I forgotten his name? Islam. If he manages to jump guillotine on Islam, he's like, I'll get a statue of me doing a guillotine in my garden.
that's absolutely lit. He always jumps that guillotine as well, bro.
Well, that's what people had the banner, so it was like, don't be silly, jump the guillotine. Because every time that thing he sent, the French guy was shooting on him, he was just like jumping in for guillotine.
Jumping on it. Anthony Smith's fight was impressive though. Fair play to him. Did you see his comment where he said, I saw something today where he was like, Pereira knows that I'm one of the only guys in the UFC that'll go in there and stand in the fire with him.
Anthony Smith said that?
Yeah.
Fair?
Yeah, I meant it. That's what I thought. I looked at him and went, all right.
I'm not sure. Okay. Absolutely, genuinely, I love Anthony Smith, right? But yeah.
He maybe is one of the only guys that will.
He would probably grapple him.
No, he said, I will willingly stand in there.
Right, okay.
Stand in there and go with him.
Yeah.
So
okay, fair.
That's what he said. He might mean that, like, he might not win, but he will stand in there.
The thing
is,
I think he could grapple better than Pereira for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I think he'd out-grapple him, but yeah, I don't know.
Sure, Pereira's a black belt, bro.
I think he could grapple Pereira. Maybe he would struggle with the stand-up and stuff like that, but
yeah,
I think he'd grapple Pereira. Like, but
black belt. What I do it.
Moving on, who was the next fight?
Pantoja, was it not? No, Anthony Smith wasn't.
What was the other one that was good? Jose Aldo, yeah.
Put on a performance, by the way.
Really good show. First fight back out of retirement.
Yeah, he did.
Showed that he's been working on his boxing for sure.
Sharp.
Really nice.
Sharp as ever, man.
Yeah, that was a good
really
fight.
Good.
That.
Just trying to think back to the fight now. Like, it was actually such a performance from Aldo, and like the ending of it. Gotta say, at the ending of it, going through the fight, the commentators were saying that the corner said to the young boy, like, stop giving him so much respect, like, because he idolized Aldo as he was growing up, you know what I mean? So, like, now that he's in there fighting with him, I felt bad for the guy because you could even see in the fight, he just kind of looked bewildered.
Yeah, like just starstruck.
Yeah, almost like that.
Imagine like someone puts you in the cage against somebody you grew up watching.
Yeah, I know.
Like, that's mental. Like, oh my god, like, I actually like seen like this on the TV and it's me. Like, I'm the one in here now. Like, that must be fucking mental.
No, it would be wild. Like, so you can imagine how perplexed he must be in here to like even want to smash Aldo in the face, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you saw at the end of the fight, like, the boy was in tears, man, or almost in tears. Aldo was helping him out because he was an up and coming fighter, undefeated, and he really probably should have beat Aldo if he wants to be aiming for a title. He should have beat Aldo there, but I'm not putting no disrespect on Aldo. You know what I mean?
Depends, because Aldo could maybe still like fare really well in the division. You know what I mean? You
Absolutely.
Don't know how
I'm not putting no disrespect on that. But if he's an up and coming looking for a title shot or working towards a title,
he needs to win that one.
Would have been hoping to win that one. Even though it is against Aldo, but he's a young kid, man. He'll come back.
Yeah, because it's Aldo. Because it's someone like Aldo though as well.
It's not that bad.
I'll not push him back any bit. I don't think. Nah, they'll give him someone again soon, and he'll hopefully get back onto the path of fucking.
Because he was knocking people out. That boy. I can't remember his name.
I've actually forgotten as well. You know what my memory's like though.
Like a sieve.
I should probably be googling it, shouldn't I?
It's alright though. He did put on a good performance, Aldo. He looked faster than ever, and then he just made a little bit strange decisions. Like in the last round, he shot the takedown when he was piecing him up, but then who was it on commentary made a good comment saying that it kind of
didn't know if he wanted to finish him. Sort of
thing. He said it kind of seemed like a pity takedown. Like he knew he'd won the first 2 rounds. He was piecing him up in the third. He didn't really want to finish him, so he took him down and pretty much just.
I think more he'd wobbled him as well. So if he'd really pressed, he probably could have gotten a finish.
Yeah.
So I think that's I mean, like it's like
he definitely wobbled it.
Rather than pressing for the finish.
Legged him in that third round, didn't he? Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, rather than pressing him for a finish, like you say, take down. At least let him get to the end of the fight. You know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? Like maybe being a good guy to him, or maybe because he looked pretty tired, or maybe he was just fucked.
He did look pretty tired himself.
Don't know.
But that's what I was just saying. That could have been ring IQ or ring rust. You know what I mean? Ring rust.
Yeah.
But I was also thinking that it could have just been him being a good guy.
Yeah.
So it could have been either they are.
Because the other one that we were forgetting is the most unfortunate. Paul Craig.
Oh, fuck off.
Yeah, Paul Craig's fight.
There was a reason.
Had you mentally forgotten that had happened? Yeah, I was fucking gutted, I gutted about that. Yeah, round 2 KO, 2 minutes 10. Yeah. But a little bit fair play to him. The guy's 16-1.
No, I know. Like I'm not.
And he's upcoming like massive underdog and stuff like that. It's
who? Paul.
Yeah, he was an underdog for the fight.
I'm not saying like it sucks. It just sucks, man. I just really wanted him to win. I was gutted.
Yeah.
Gutted when we got beat, man. But either way, I hope he fights again.
Yeah.
And especially in the UFC, and don't count out. Like, look at the strength of opponents, like that Paul Craig's had. You know what I mean? Like, they're pretty weighty opponents he's had.
I think the thing is, what's happened is because he beat the people he's beat, like Jamal Hill, and then it was Ankalaev. And
I always want to say Jan.
I can't remember the guy's name, but like beat like top 6 guys, like finished them. Do you know what I mean? Like it's. People are like, that's then something to fear. Do you know what I mean? Like, you're going to fear that. So people are just being like, what's the best thing is just go nowhere near the grappling. Yeah. Like, just do not get involved in the grappling with him at all. And you've seen it, like, anytime he was even trying to make, like, a pull down, it was, like, it was a frame off and, like, shove and get away and get it back to standing. You know what I mean? So it's unfortunate that it's, like, people are going to be aggressively avoiding what he's best at because they know how, like, he's one of the best in the division in the UFC at that.
33, 34?
Oh, somewhere in around there. I think mid-30s, I think mid-30s.
My worry for it is that, like, it might be a bit of a stretch to ask Paul to fix his speed with his hands at that age. It's not impossible. Mm-hmm. Absolutely not. You could definitely improve it. And no doubt you can improve it. Like, but to get it to, like, world championship level, it's just hard when you're that age already. You know what I mean? Yeah,
I get that, but
I don't guess he doesn't need to be world level because he's got the jiu-jitsu there. He needs to put it together more with his hands because that's where people are going to try and keep him up.
Even maybe if it's just that his defensive striking was a bit better. Do you know what I mean? So because the commentators were saying that it was awful. It was very head high all the time.
I just want to see him win, man.
That's all it is. I
just want to see him win.
But like I've seen him win and it's awesome. I just want to see him win again.
Yeah, I know. That's what I meant.
You should. I just want to see him win it.
Like
he's never won.
No, definitely. I've seen him win.
It's just an unfortunate run at the moment. But
don't like seeing him lose. But it's just because there's Scottish fighters in the UFC. Mm-hmm. It's cool to see.
Yeah, it's really awesome.
Mm-hmm.
But that was, and the other thing UFC related that I was going to bring up, you actually mentioned it earlier, was.
We're not talking about the main event.
Well, we can do, yeah. Well, yeah, we'll talk about the main event. It just wasn't very terribly exciting. I'd forgotten about it right there already because that's how.
I actually really enjoyed the main event.
Did you?
Yeah.
I think it was
Pantoja versus
an absolute.
What's it?
What's the word for it?
What's the boy's name?
Erceg.
That's good. Thank you.
It was literally like the blueprint of Pantoja. It was a Pantoja fight. Is exactly how it went.
Yeah, but I was really impressed with Erceg. Ranked number 10, coming in.
4 fights.
Fourth fight
or something like that.
That might have been his 5th. I'm not sure.
Yeah, something like that.
But he'd had 4 fights before, no?
I can't remember. It was one of the two. He'd either had 4 fights and this was his 5th or this was his 4th.
Yeah, fair. Look better on the feet, better with his hands. Takedown defense really good. Defensive jiu-jitsu looked really good.
Mm-hmm.
Looked like an all-round fighter, and you could argue won the fight.
Yeah, some people think he definitely won it.
Yeah. Well, we had Ryan over the other day, and he said
he claimed robbery as soon as he walked in the door. Yeah,
we were like, whoa. But No, I really enjoyed that main event, to be honest. But I can see why people wouldn't have enjoyed it.
Yeah. I enjoyed it as much as I enjoy watching fighting.
Yeah, but I just was excited to see Ertzeg because I hadn't seen much of him before.
Yeah.
Up and coming from Australia. It was just, you never know what the Aussies are going to be like, man. They could be wild. And he doesn't look like he's going to starch people. You know what I mean by that?
I get, well.
You look at him and you don't think this guy's a monster.
I think I do because of the weight division he's in. Like, because he's even big for that division. Fair. It's 125.
But if you were just to look at him as a normal person, you don't look at that guy and go, that guy's a monster.
Nah.
But then when you see him in the cage, dude starches people.
He's just clean, yeah. He
starches
clean.
people.
Yeah.
And so I was just, I liked that fight. I thought it was good.
Yeah.
But you're right, it wasn't the most highlight reel fight, you know.
Nah, it's just unfortunate that it was like prefaced with good fights that had finishes.
Yeah, and
obviously not necessarily the Aldo one, but the Aldo one was like nostalgic. Like getting to see Aldo, getting to see perform well.
It was still a good fight. It was still
and it was
when
a
you
good
get
fight.
to see like a good fight, a fighter that you really enjoy perform like that. It's almost good. It's always good, but you always feel bad for the other guy. And then you even had like Pereira with the backflip and then the choke and that, so that was good. But you had your other. What was your other thing?
No, you brought it up earlier. What was it? It was McGregor and...
McGregor versus Chandler.
Yeah, you asked me what I thought. Yeah, that was what it was.
Yeah.
I'm pumped for it, like, hey, but I don't know. I don't even know if I have an assumption on what happened. I feel like I have two assumptions on which either way it's going to go, which is either going to be, like, early second round KO for McGregor or... third round stoppage for Chandler. Like McGregor gets mad, tired, gas out in the third round, and Chandler starts going to hell.
Okay,
but at the same time, it could come out both of them really just looking to get a finish, and one of them KO and the other one in the first round.
You know how I see it playing out?
What?
Any way McGregor fucking wants.
Do you actually?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn.
Any way McGregor wants. It's Mac Daddy season. The daddy's back. Woo!
To be fair, like McGregor's like fight IQ far surpasses like Chandler's. Do you know what I mean? But like Chandler can take a hit.
Of course, yeah.
Not obviously not mental because he got put away by fucking Oliveira and stuff like that. But like he can take a hit, and McGregor will fade faster than he will. He will definitely fade quicker than Chandler will.
I just think McGregor's been out for a while now. He had that injury a year and a half ago. So, like...
Probably, I think, longer than that, to be honest.
I can only imagine, and he's been going on, and you saw McGregor go from, like, superstar UFC, fall off a bit, the fucking mental lapse he went through a bit.
Coke-fueled madman.
Yeah, then in the last year and a half since the UFC tough, since that, you kind of seen a little bit of a change on social media. It was less erratic, and the stuff was... less coke fueled.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So
there's still a lot of
yeah, there is still some of that out there for sure, but a lot less frequent, and it just seems like he has more of a purpose now, and he has more of an idea of where he wants to be, because he might have been lost after winning the 2 championships and losing to Khabib. You know what I mean? What do I do now?
Well, it sounds like he's been trying to get fights.
He's been trying
to get fights, but
which is why I think McGregor anyway he won't.
Yeah, I think he's just not like say he is still a massive name, but he's not as much. Like I don't think he has as much sway over things as what he used to. Because people want to see him, but not as aggressively as what they used to want to see. Do you know what I mean? Like
for sure,
he's not as big a draw. He's still huge, and McGregor Channel debatably still be one of the biggest cards.
McGregor's still the biggest draw in the UFC right now. The biggest. For sure, man. If you're even having to think about it,
I'm trying to think. I don't know, because like say, as much as I'm don't like it, like Islam, like more people would call for him as a draw for that title, and Sean O'Malley as well right now.
Did this guy just say Islam Makhachev to me?
Just now,
it's a bigger draw for pay-per-views.
What people are after in Saudi Arabia, like stuff like that.
For pay-per-views, you think Islam Makhachev is a bigger draw than McGregor? That's ridiculous, bro. Wow.
I think it depends. Like,
nah,
I don't. I think people don't care about him as much as what they used to. Genuinely, I think we're getting to a new generation of fighters as well, who don't even know as much about him. Well, not as much about him, but you know what I mean. Like, they're not even as mad fans of McGregor as what they used to be, because he's like been gone for so long.
It's only been like 5-6 years, bro. That's not that long.
Which, when you think about young people that are watching it, like teenagers and stuff are watching it, that's a long time for somebody that's that young.
Yeah, bro, but life isn't. It's not all about teenagers now. They're not the ones buying the pay-per-views.
No, but do you know what I mean? Like the young fans and stuff. 5 years is a big difference and stuff
just
like
to
that.
say Islam's a bigger draw than McGregor's wild, bro. It's mental.
Just depends how you see it.
If you'd maybe said O'Malley,
like you say, if you're saying for straight money, if you're saying for straight money, then fair enough. That's a hard one to think.
But the biggest draw the UFC have is McGregor.
Like, I think there'll be a lot of fighters as well that would fighter-wise as well. Like, most fighters would only be interested in fighting McGregor back in the day, but I feel like there's a lot of them that would rather fight.
Now. No,
I still think you get people that would rather fight Islam than McGregor because of what it's worth rather than who it is.
Max Holloway was just on the Joe Rogan podcast, right? And he was talking about who he'd want to fight, and Joe was setting up all these things, and Max ignored them all.
But it's different for Max because Max has a loss to Conor that he hasn't ever gotten to get back, and he thinks he could beat McGregor now. That's why it's so much for him.
It wasn't like Max just went straight and went Conor. He was like, well, I want to get that. Yeah, I'd be an idiot if I didn't say Conor, because even the UFC fighters know Conor's the best man. Not the best, sorry, the draw.
Like say, if you want money. But that's what I'm on about. But what I just said is that a lot of people, the people that are after it for legacy rather than for money.
But that's not what we're talking about. That's what. We're talking about the biggest draw in the UFC for fans, bro.
Chef. That's what I said. I'm agreeing with you if you're talking straight money.
That's what we were talking
agree.
about.
Yeah. Okay, we'll move on to the next point.
Well, that's what we were talking about.
Yeah, I know, and that's what I'm saying. I agree, but I just, all I was saying a minute ago was that I'm saying, or you'll get fighters that might be in it for legacy more. I'm agreeing with you. If you're talking about straight money, yes, that's what I said. I agree.
Yeah.
But I'm saying if you find a fighter that are more interested in what they get out of it rather than just the cash value, there's people that are going to pick him over McGregor fights. There's somebody that will care more about fighting the champion than somebody that's not fought in 3 years because it's more money. 100% agree with you. He's the bigger draw when you're looking for money.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, if you're getting fighters that maybe aren't necessarily in it for the money,
yeah,
that
but
want legacy, then for them, Islam's going to be a bigger draw than McGregor. They're more likely to want to fight him than McGregor because it means more.
Yeah, but you're talking towards about a title. Fighters, no? You're talking about fighters. Actually, you're talking about
and some people
want to
fight people that watch fighting.
Fans,
yeah, are going to be way more interested in seeing Islam fight than McGregor for several reasons. So in that case, I would probably say, depending how if you're talking about a draw as who's going to make more money, then fair enough. But if you're talking about what fans want to see and what fighters want, I don't think it's so far in McGregor's favour. I think a lot more fighters and fans would rather see most people fight Islam, for example, than McGregor. If you put into the thing is you put into the top 5 fighters just now, most of the top 5 fighters in that division, you would probably rather see them fight Islam than McGregor. Because McGregor's not as big a draw now as what he used to be.
I would only purely say that's because McGregor's not champion, and that's because
he's not as good as what he used to be, I think.
But he's been out for so long. But then that wasn't okay. So I don't know where I'm going to go with this point, but
for sure McGregor's more of a moneymaker than anyone else.
Yeah, which is what I was 100%.
Saying.
He's
but
the biggest draw
as far as a draw, depending for fans and for fighters, I don't think he's as much of a draw as what he is. He's
when
as
people
much
talk
as what he used
about
to
a draw, I always say that's the fans. A draw is for the fans. It's not for the fighters. It's not for I can understand what you're saying that other fighters would rather fight the champion than fight McGregor because they're going to get the belt.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I think a lot of
100%.
people now only watch McGregor that aren't fight fans too. I think a lot of what he brings is the non-fight fans that come to watch it because of his name.
Well, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? The actual fight fans, as you say, for the draw, will be more interested in seeing the champion fight these people and more of a
But as a
tough
draw,
fight,
no matter what, McGregor is the biggest because he now
money-wise,
has that fan base, which is what a draw is money. It brings in as viewed.
Did you not just say that you thought a draw was fans?
Well, that's who when Dana White says what's a bigger draw, he means what draws in the wider audience.
Yeah,
which is McGregor because he brings the wider audience.
And all I was saying at the start is I don't think that is necessarily the case anymore. I don't think
he brings in a wider audience than all
I think he gets paid more than everyone else, but
I still think he brings in a wider audience more than all the rest of them.
You might be right. Yeah, but if he is, it's unfortunate because I think it's less fight fans.
I also agree with you that the fighters will choose to fight the champion, of course, up and coming.
It's just less. Yeah,
however,
less actual fight fans that come from McGregor.
I'm still seeing all the OGs call out McGregor. All of them. They all still want the McGregor fight. They all still talk about him.
I think, like you said, because they'll get paid more from it as well, because they'll get pay-per-view points from it and stuff like that.
These fighters are reaching the end of their career too. or not reaching the end of the career, but like past prime, just past or whatever. I'm not trying to so fucking. Don't want anyone to come from me.
Yeah. Nah, I think I don't know. I don't know. Like you say, I think. I don't know, because I don't know. I think like the Saudi audience and stuff like that's quite big now. Who do you think would actually bring in more money out of like Islam, considering who was watching him or
if
McGregor?
We're taking out
like now.
If we're
don't mean
like
Islam
a few
McGregor,
years ago. I'm saying McGregor because you're going to get everyone watching McGregor. Right? Yeah. McGregor's huge in America.
Let's say the non-fight fans are going to come in for
Dubai. He's huge everywhere, McGregor. Yeah. He's even big in Dubai because of Khabib.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So he's big all over. He's big in Russia because he's big all over. So for me, it's McGregor. I don't think Islam is anywhere near the characteristic of that, of McGregor. If you were to say somebody to me like O'Malley, who brings in an even wider American audience than a lot of the American fighters, like he brings in his own fans who watch him stream, and so he brings in a much wider audience that way. I can maybe understand that, or someone like Volk, but Volk's he's not. They're just not superstars.
See,
they are. They absolutely are
think
superstars.
It's because if you
McGregor
look,
is the superstar.
Like in the Middle East and things like that, and like to Dubai and stuff like that, like that's where Islam's fan base would probably far exceed likes of McGregor and stuff like that.
You would have to go have.
So it would be difficult. Yeah, it would be difficult because you've got to, like I say, a lot of us like don't see how huge certain athletes are
in other parts of the world.
Whereas when you go to their country, it's like they're everything. They're all over everywhere. And we're like, I didn't even think you were that famous, but where they're from. Everyone's obsessed. Do you know what I mean? And I genuinely think it would, like, considering how much of an explosion MMA's taken in, like, said areas like the Middle East and like Dubai and stuff like that, and seeing what it's been like with grappling too. The amount of these huge funded shows now that are appearing in Dubai that are grappling and stuff like that. Like, I wouldn't be surprised now if because of that, the audience and the size of that country, like if it's made. Like I say, if it would bring in more fan base for Islam or McGregor, like I genuinely would be actually intrigued to see that. I think fighters get paid more fighting McGregor because of the pay-per-view.
I also think fighters get paid more because of McGregor.
Yeah.
Full stop. Because the fan base from the UFC.
Like I said, I would like to know what it's like now. Because 100%, like a few years ago for sure. But I think, like I said, now the way that the fan base has gone over there and the way that McGregor is starting to become slightly less known than he was before.
Let's see what his pay-per-view numbers are for the Chandler fight.
Yeah.
Because let's be fair. I mean, no disrespect to Chandler, but he's not the superstar that's going to bring in names. Bring in numbers.
Don't get me wrong. I think McGregor's it'll do mental because that fight's been so much in the making.
Yeah,
they had the whole tough thing, and it's McGregor's first one back. And like I say, as I'm saying, like not a lot of non-fight fans
Chandler
appreciate.
Not just beat Poirier in his last fight. Did he not beat Poirier before Poirier beat McGregor?
I don't think Chandler's beat Poirier, has he?
Is that not who he beat to call it McGregor? When he was screaming in the mic, who did he beat to call it McGregor? I thought that was Poirier, but maybe I'm wrong.
Was it?
I might be totally.
Maybe it was. Maybe it was.
But
I think I would. Oh, I should remember that if that happened. Oh,
I don't remember the one where he's screaming, "Conor McGregor!" Screams down the mic. You don't remember that?
Yeah, I do, but I'm trying to think who he was fighting.
I thought it was Poirier.
Was it?
I don't. It might not be.
We'll need to have a look at that. I should know that.
And we'll be wrong again. We're always wrong. It's not like it's recorded already.
Yeah, no, it's fine. You're allowed to be wrong. You're allowed to be wrong, bro. You can't be right about everything.
Ha.
Yeah.
I can't remember what else I had for today's bit.
We're gonna do a figures check on that. These next fights when they come in, see who pulls in more, who pulls in a bigger fucking audience. It's gonna be McGregor.
Also, you won the bet, by the way.
Which bet?
The
for the guesses for 300. Yes, I absolutely did. We didn't get any thingies. What's the name for it? What you were gonna have to do a forfeit. We didn't get any.
Ha. Do it.
No, we'll decide the forfeit right. Requesting anyone who does actually make it this far into the podcast.
yeah.
Definitely need to message us and tell us what the forfeit is, knowing that Steve's going to be the one doing it, not me.
That's rude.
Because you've failed, so.
Yeah, but not knowing that it's me, sure.
Okay, right. Okay. Well,
your option is everyone knows.
Your option is right. A. We'll give it a week until the next podcast for someone else to decide, and then that happens. Or you're giving me a week to decide. Think of realistically what your safer bet is going to be there.
Someone else?
Probably. probably, if you're giving me a week to come up with something for you.
But the thing is with you, right, I could give you a week, right? You'll forget about it till we come back here and record. Yeah, you will.
You think me getting to give you some sort of a forfeit that I'm getting to decide over the course of a week, you don't think I'm going to remember that and come up with something saucy?
Yeah.
Make your bed then, chef.
Just because I've said that, I'm going to pick someone else. You know what I mean? Purely because I've said it, you'll remember it now.
Yeah,
but if I hadn't said
the second I turn the camera off, I'll be in my phone, like, Steve's forfeit.
If I hadn't said that, you would have forgotten about it.
I definitely wouldn't have. Not something like that you need to appreciate this opportunity that I'm going to be presented with. Like if I said to you, Steve, by the way, right, I've lost this thing, so you can make me do whatever you want. This one, that no matter how ridiculous you get, I've got to do it. As
my trousers would be off. Yeah.
Damn. Anywho, I should have seen that. Yeah, if I say anything non-sexual that you could do you really think you'd forget and be like, oh yeah, cool, that'll be funny, and then not ask me to do anything?
No. Yeah, fair. You make valid points.
Sometimes, occasionally.
Yeah, sometimes. Well, I think I'll go with a viewer and
of mine.
No, the viewer. A viewer. Okay. Anyone who's watching the pod, write in the comments, pick a forfeit for me, and I've done it again. Yeah. See, the second I mentioned the word comments, I went, I haven't told anyone to like or subscribe right at the start, which I should be doing instead of the end.
That's fine. Well, we can do it now anyway.
Well, I'm going to have to anyway, so.
But yeah, either comment on the video or message.
You sign this one off. Sign this video off.
Sign this video off?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's going to be a tough one. Well, what did we recap? We recapped all this stuff. Let's find out. I forgot what we were talking about already. What did I just say at the end there? I've actually had a mind fart. I said sign me off. I will sign off, but what did you say before? I said something before you told me to do it. Oh yeah, either comment on the video or message one of the social medias. That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Because either of them will pick it up, and then either of them will pick it up.
Oh.
But then we'll let it go off on that one. But I'll sign it off. So it's been an absolute pleasure once again, Chef, and I hope everybody enjoys it. As I say, any notes, any opinions, just let us know. But
any thoughts on our opinions?
Yeah, exactly. But until then, we will see you next time, guys.
Take care.
Peace.
Peace.